Hey, good peeps. Give me half a second. Okay, yep. Nope. My live it's to make sure I'm live. So I hope everybody's doing okay. Let me double check to make sure that I am live. Let's double check to make sure. Half a second. I don't know. It's not coming up as if it's live. It's showing here. I don't see it, but I'm gonna see in a second. Oh, I know why. I'm looking in the wrong place. Duh. Hold on. That's why. I'm looking in the wrong place. Duh. Okay. So I'm just waiting on him to come down. He's picked out the first topic. I can be very candid. He wants it to be about. Let me see here. I'll let him start it off. I don't want to be too premature, but our first topic is going to be about nature pollution. I'm going to let him start it off. That's not anything that I really like to dab into. I'm going to wait till he come on before I say my true thoughts. You guys know how I roll. Um, I'm not saying that nature pollution is not anything that we should discuss, but I'm going to wait to give him these questions that I have because to me, um, and again, I'll just wait because again, my questions and my feedback are kind of more questions for him to kind of get the conversation going. So I hope everybody is well. I just got through doing a little uh Lord have mercy. Jesus, black folks. When I tell you black people hard to deal with sometimes. Jesus Christ. Hold on 1 second, guys. I can't control how the internet. Oh no, he didn't get it. I don't know why he didn't get it. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me do this. Okay, let me do it like that. Show that. Do that. Give me a second, guys. I'm waiting on him. He's somebody he didn't get the link. Oh Lord. Let me have a second. Again, I hope everybody's doing okay. I did me a PPP rant earlier, trying to figure out how these people got all this 20 bands. They don't realize that they had to tell the government that they made $80,000 to $100,000 nets a year, and they paid out $8,000 to $10,000 per month in payroll. So I got people who live in project apartments. It's not saying that you can't make that amount of money living in project apartments, but I'm just, my logical thinking is that if you were making that much and you're able to pay out that much in payroll, $8,000 to $10,000 a month, in order for you to obtain the 2.5% of your 2019 annual payroll, then you shouldn't be living in public housing. That's just my thoughts, my sentiments. Or you should be using it to build for something greater. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But you guys know that, I'm retarded, so don't believe anything that I say. Hold on 1 second. Oh, Lord. I'm not even in the mood to do this, really. There's the link below, guys. If you want to join in, there is a link. right there below. Should you have any comments or anything that you would like to add to the conversation once we get started, I have a few things that I want to discuss, um, but I'm going to let him jump in to start this about this nature pollution. I didn't put my face on because I don't even want my face to uh, show my facial expression. So I'm just again waiting for him to come on. Uh, okay, hold on. Here he is right here. I'm gonna add him to the stream. So again, we appreciate you guys tuning in tonight.
All right. Hello, hello.
I'm going to not show face. Um, Again, you guys have seen the live from earlier, so go and check that live out. But I just shared this to Facebook and Instagram. I didn't stream it how I normally do, so I hope that it shows up. But again, thanks Wayne for joining. I kind of got back in contact with him a little
Yes.
earlier, guys, and to get a so we can bounce off each other to kind of get his perspective on some topics to see what he wanted to talk about. Y'all know how. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Yes.
you. Are
Okay.
you able to see me?
Okay. Yeah, I can see you.
Are you able to see
So,
me?
pretty much, I am. I can see you.
Okay.
Yes, I can see you. Okay. So, not showing face, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and dive right into it. I'm gonna let him start off. It's a conversation that he kind of wants to talk off, talking point that he wants to start off with, and what was kind of bouncing off each other.
Yeah, you're kind of going in and out, Tawana, and the screen on my end is frozen. I'm able to still hear you though, but just in and out. It froze. Okay. I don't hear you, Tawana, but I can see myself and it's not frozen.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
I had to
Okay.
come down. I came downstairs to my main computer. I was trying to be lazy. I'm sorry, guys. Trying to be lazy and not get out of the bed. Again, my apologies on that. So that's on me right there. But yeah, we can go ahead. Thanks, guys, for being patient. Again, I don't know if you guys heard me. Please go back and check out the video that I did earlier. It was in regards to just giving you some informative, well, reiterating information that I had gave to you guys over a year ago when this pandemic first hit as it relates to PPP, and understanding how a lot of people are putting themselves in line for legal issues as it relates to getting all this funding. You know, I'm a legit business, and I've been a legit business pre-pandemic. You guys have seen the paperwork, all that. And I'm just confused on how a lot of people are getting that amount of money. I'm not pocket counting. I'm just being proactive for people to understand, if you're going to take that, if you're going to hit a lick like that and not do anything with it, then shame on you at the end of the year when the shit hit the fan. So I hope you guys were able to catch that. It's all in love. It's never coming from a place of harshness, but it is a truth and reality. And I don't want to sugarcoat or tiptoe around the reality, because when the shit hits the fan, they're not going to tiptoe around arresting you or putting you and your kids out of your Section 8 and making you pay those $20,000, $30,000 back. So go ahead, Dwayne. I'm going to let you go ahead and start and talk about what you want to talk about. The description is the link to join. If anybody wants to join, is in the comment section and in the description section. So go ahead, Dwayne. Don't tell me I froze again. If I froze again, I'm just not going to do it.
Hello?
Is it me? Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. I'm able to hear you.
So go ahead. I was saying that you can go ahead and start with the commentary that you wanted to discuss.
Okay. Cool. First off, thank you for the pleasure to talk to your fans and your viewership. I hope they enjoyed last content last week, and I hope they enjoyed your content earlier. That's some pretty informative stuff, and that's pretty current. You know, some people may have did that action, some people may have not. So, you know, definitely got to talk about the risks involved with that. So that's some good work right there.
Oh yeah, I just kind of went down and I saw some people who personally I know, family members. So of course I'm related to them, and I personally know what they're doing. They call me when they need it. And for me, it was just one of those things, seeing, and again, it's not coming from a hateration place. It's coming from a place of, I want you to be proactive, especially for some of the names that I saw, because on the back end, I already know I'm going to get a phone call from other family members when the shit hit the fan on what to do or how can I help them. And I'm making it known now that I'm not helping anyone, because you put yourself in this situation.
Yeah. So, but to gear off that topic, I wanted to talk about nature, how we view nature as a people. And I'm going to get to this one thing, like, okay, all right, you know, I know when it comes to pertaining our people, we want to be free. We want to have liberation, right? And we want to be able to have self-love, you know, to empower ourselves to realize that we are kings and queens. But one thing though I want to touch on that I feel like a lot of people are overlooking is that, you know, our people, you know, we talk about Black self-love, you know, and it's been a lot more talk about us being proud in the skin that we are, realizing we kings and queens. But you can't, it's hard to realize if you're a king and queen if you have litter or trash all around you. all around on the ground. And what I'm saying is this: on the subconscious level, the kids that see that, if they're raised in an area, and like just say for instance, down in the West End Atlanta, down in the Bluff, even where I'm at in Union City, some of the apartment complexes, it'd be trash on the ground and everything. And us being psychologists, we know that that trash on the ground and the little kids playing, and they see that, it subconsciously hits them in their head, and it's like, how can I be great if there's trash and litter all around? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like that could have the potential to play with a person's psyche. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like if somebody raised in an area, the grass is clean, ain't no litter on the ground, they're not going to particularly have that thought that, oh, I'm not deserving of more. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying your home, for some people, reflects how they view themselves,
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. It's kind of like what a lot of guys say about females in our cars. Like most females' cars are junky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Inside. And so I can definitely relate to having the understanding that like your house and the clutterness of your house represents your mindset. I agree with that to a degree, but where I want to interject that is when you started off saying as Black people, we're kings and queens. I hate that narrative now. I got to tell you that, brother. I hate that narrative because we're not kings and queens. I get what you're saying. We should think higher of ourselves, but kings and queens, they own things. They have land. They act accordingly. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, I can't agree with that when you're saying kings and queens. Because if they were kings and queens, they wouldn't be living in that peasant type atmosphere from the beginning. So I can't agree with that right there. But I get what you're saying, how the litter kind of plays a part on your psyche, and it's kind of like even my room, I can think better when my room is not cluttered up. So I absolutely agree with that. But I don't think that can be a debilitating factor. I don't think it's so significant that it's a debilitating factor. I just really, I don't think that seeing trash on the ground, I'm going to say this right here. Let me play this for you.
Okay.
Let me play. Hold on, where it is. Intro. Let me just play this intro.
All right.
If I can find it, let me see. Well, anyway, I can't find it off top, but what it is, do you remember when Tupac was saying, if there's, you can talk about the trash. If I talk about how much trash is outside and I keep talking about it, eventually somebody's going to clean it up. Do you don't remember that? I wish I want to pull the video up so you can actually hear it.
Nah, I thought you was about to first say about when he's talking about the kicking down the door, and how we hungry. That one I know of, but not that other one. But please, can you enlighten me on that one?
Yeah, I'm finna play it for you.
Okay.
Every day when I'm breathing, listen, it's for us to go farther. Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody going to clean it up. Yo, Mo B, man.
That's courtesy of Mob Radio, Millie. I want to give her shout out because she is trademarked now. I always like to cite people. So I got that courtesy of Mob Radio. But did you hear what Tupac said? If you talk about the trash long enough, somebody's going to clean it up. So I definitely get, on a subconscious level, the things around us definitely impact us. It kind of goes back to that nature, environment, and nurture type thing.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with how our environment can impact us. But for me, I don't see how, I grew up in the hood. You know, I grew up seeing weed sack baggies on the ground. You understand what I'm saying? But that didn't impact me to the degree to where it made me just think that that was all that there was. You get what I'm saying? I knew that there was more. And although we might be a product of that, I think that that's low to think that we don't have enough value within ourselves to not want to be in that situation, if that makes sense.
If low in ourselves.
The fact
so let's
that
run that back. Low in ourselves to.
Let me say it like this. You know, I'm candid, so let me say it in the candid way. Let me not be politically correct. I don't like being politically correct because that's being nice, and I don't like being nice. I like being honest. It to me, when I hear that, how you just presented, and maybe I didn't hear it right, but it's kind of like that's devaluing Black people in itself for you to think that we're just that low to where the trash around us is going to impact us all our life or impact us in some negative way, substantial negative way. To me, that's a diss to us. Like we not, you understand what I'm saying? That, I mean, just because I live in the hood, I live on the South Side. I live in the hood. I don't live in no prestigious gated community. My shit is paid for, but I live in the hood. Okay, so I wouldn't want nobody telling me because I live in the hood and the grass ain't so manicured and pristine that my frequency is off and my level of thinking and I want to be dirty and nasty just because of based on where I live, or how I present myself is harsh based on where I live. That ain't so. I would feel offended. So, you know, run it back. Maybe I didn't hear it right or what have you.
No. I mean, what I would say is I do feel like no, I'm not saying, because even in prime example, right? It's a section of the West End, right? And it's still in the hood, but particular people involved in that community, they keep it clean though. And what I mean by they keep it clean is not necessarily any trash on the ground, you know? They present the environment. They keep the environment maintained, you know, and I'm just talking about trash on the ground now. I'm not talking about, you know, if the lawn is mowed or whatever. I'm just talking about trash and litter, right? You know, they keep it maintained. And even though they're in the hood, they still keep it maintained. And what I mean is that, you know, because I'm in the South Side too. I'm in the hood too, where, you know, it's litter everywhere. And, you know, it's like, well, damn, you know, I don't want to live where, you know, it's a bunch of trash everywhere. And even if I pick up some trash, some people going to put some more trash on it, because people not understanding that people got to understand is that you got to respect the land that you're in, you know? So you got to respect the grass, that the area, you got to respect the nature. Is just the overall respect of Mother Nature, because you wouldn't trash. Well, some people now, you know, some people wouldn't just eat a Chick-fil-A sandwich and throw the wrapper inside their house. They will actually walk it and take it they'll walk it and put it inside the trash can or a bag, right? You know, so it's like, you know, people are doing that outside in nature. People would just eat something or candy wrapper and just throw it on the ground. Why do that when you wouldn't do that at home? So I'm saying treat your area with more respect, because to me, it can show a level of self-respect. You know, it show a level of self-respect of how you keep your house, how you maintain your personal appearance, how you maintain the earth, you know, because the earth is our home. I mean, like we can't live out in space or Mars.
I agree with that, because we do only get one Earth. But I want to ask you this one question. I've been asking this question all freaking day. Everybody, I've been on like 4 or 5 different lives today with people, and I've been asking this question every day. What's the significance? How is that going to be a tangible? How do you make that relate into a tangible in a person's life?
Well, because go ahead. No. How that be to me, how that is a tangible. yeah, a person's not gonna get like a new car or anything physical from it. No,
No, I'm not. See,
no.
and it doesn't have. See, when I say tangible, I don't mean materialistic. I mean a tangible resource, something that they can take away based on the fact that they realize, hey, if I'm littering and making Mother Earth the only place where I live at, the only Earth that we have. How can me not littering anymore? If I stop this, how this one action, if I do this and it heightens my vibrations or heightens my being or my wokeness or whatever people say, how can this one thing, when I do this, how can I in turn transpose that into some tangible shit in my real life? Not just worried about trash beyond just trash on the ground. How can I make that? How can something significant be created out of that environment to be something that's tangible in a person's life?
Farming. I mean, nobody can farm, if he, okay. So, all right. It's just like how our ancestors used to farm, and just like how some of our grandmas have farms, some of them start gardening period, right? You can't garden if you have trash. You can't garden if you have litter, in that specific area, because it's not going to do nothing for the plants.
Right.
So I think that's one resource. Farming. A lot of people are starting to, think about growing some of my own food, So I think that right there could translate into a physical resource. But I see what you say, because you did strike a good narrative, because people go and first think, well, how is that going to benefit me? Yeah,
I'm one of those now. It's kind of like everything, and it's kind of like how I see stuff now. And I don't know, like the last 2 days I've been like in goddamn documentaries and just really getting some knowledge, just like really awoken me to a whole nother level. It's like this. I can talk all the good shit about picking the paper up and motivating somebody, but if I'm not doing that shit in real life, if I'm not picking up paper off the floor, off the ground every day, and I'm not going out beyond just sitting up here motivating some people, that shit is insignificant for real. Because you're only making you're appeasing a person for a moment, and if they're not really taking that shit and applying it, then what are we doing? Do you understand what I'm saying? And I've learned that people want to see you doing this shit. I mean, for me, I can't sit up here and talk about activism or this, that, and the other. Like me personally, I would pick up trash. But I personally right now can't sit up here and tell nobody else what to do with their neighborhood when they ain't picking up trash in my neighborhood. Do you understand what I'm saying? To me, that's a fallacy. That's a fucking fallacy. And that's where the gap is, because that's what I'm saying. How does it translate into tangible? Because even if you get them to understand that, hey, you can farm if you clean up your neighborhood. Let's say you get them to recognize that.
Okay.
Homeboy who been on Garden Road don't know shit about farming, because he been selling crack all his life and selling dub bags of weed all his life. So how is what you said going to relate into a tangible? Because you done told him all this good shit, but if you don't know how to come and show him how to farm, everything you told him still is not a tangible in his life.
I could point them to resources to people who do farming. It's people on social media that do farming, that whole free farming classes. I've been to one of them before. Free Homes of Atlanta. He has an urban garden, and he actually teaches people, because he taught me a couple techniques of just what to do with the dirt and how to farm. And he does that stuff for free. He does that stuff for free. All you gotta do is pull up. But,
good point right there. Good point.
So
now, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, the person relaying the information could direct the other person into the actual person, to the person that could feed the expertise. That way it's not like that other person's just talking, Now, once the other person gets directed to that, and, the two are able to facilitate that, okay, hey, this person want to learn how to do this, blah, blah, blah. It's up to that individual person if he or she chooses to follow through, learn the knowledge, and if they want to apply it, I heard what you were saying, you're on the tip of doing the actual action. To me, I personally believe the motivation is a part of an action, but the person got to take it. the person got to take it further though. I mean, because I know for me particularly, you know, me doing my motivational speaking, you know, people, they'll listen to my video and they'll say that they become charged and they have the energy to then apply to go about on the next step, whatever that next step is to keep pushing.
Pause.
Okay.
Just what you said, because I agree with motivating a person. I can agree to that, but I'm doing no more than what a pastor do for them 2 hours when your ass sitting in church. I'm making you feel good right then. I'm keeping it above, because when you leave out the truck, you just said it yourself. You said that people told you your videos motivate me. They charge me up. Yeah. They make me want to go do something. Pause though. Okay, your videos. A nigga can look at your video who got felonies and want to get his life right and feel motivated, but when he get off the goddamn air, you can't tell him how to get that pardon off his goddamn record.
Yeah, I can't. So, he will have to seek that information on his own.
Hear me out though.
Okay.
Hear me out. So to me, that's a disconnect. To me, that's a fallacy. That's what so many people are doing. That's what I'm trying. I get what you're saying. All of us can make somebody feel good. And in life, we do want to. You want to inspire a person. You want to uplift a person. You want to enlighten a person to be able to do more. I get that. But if you ain't got no fucking tangibles, that shit is just like a pastor up there on Sundays selling you hope and a dream without any tangible stuff. I don't need nobody making somebody fucking feel good for 2 hours. And then when they get off the feel good train, they still need me. They inboxing me for how to do what the feel good person told them. The feel good person should be in a position for everything that comes out of their mouth. They should be able to implement it in some way or have a direct, not no third party, homeboy, homegirl, a direct resource for whatever they just preached about. The end. If not, it's all a fallacy. It's all just putting it out there for people to feel good. And I don't want them to feel good. I want them to do good. Fuck feeling good, because you're not going to feel good every day in life. You're not going to feel good. I want you to do good. If you get the mindset to do good on the days when you don't feel good, you can still do good despite your feelings.
I personally believe the motivation should allow them to take the action. Either way, that individual person got to take the action to then seek the resource. You know, they got Google, they got the internet. You know, the motivation just serves as the gas, as the engine, you know, per se, to get the car started.
So just sit up here and make people feel good, but not have anything to give them when they reach out to say, well, you just said all this to go farm and let's go do this. And when they come to you, say, well, go Google it.
Well, with the farming thing, just like I said, you know, I have the resource that I can pinpoint them to, and they could further ask that individual questions. I mean, because a lot of at the same time, you know, the person that's providing the motivation, they're not perfect. They're not going to have all the answers, but that motivation is just the engine. I don't see nothing wrong with the gas. You know, it's the gas to get the engine started.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that motivation is not a good thing. I'm not saying that it's not a good thing. I definitely can agree with embedding people with the fuel, as you say, to be able to want more. But to me, I'm one of these that say this. I just see it. I mean, maybe it's because of the age gap or whatever. I just see it. I just see today's society being one that everybody want to talk, but don't nobody want to do. Everybody want to talk about what the resource is or talk about to motivate you. But then when they get the people riled up and motivated, where are the people who's showing them the tangible reasons? It just still it's to me, I just see a big disconnect to that. And I see now it's to me, this is an I statement. Yeah. I see that it's more of a trend if because everybody can get on here and talk. Everybody can make somebody feel hard as I talk. I make people feel good. But when I make them feel good, I go beyond that. Like yesterday, I talked, but yesterday we got 7 people out of fucking prison. Out of jail, paid did a bail to bond. So I don't just sit up here and talk about we need to do black people and da-da-da. I'm finna go and do some action beyond when I leave out of here, because I need y'all to see this shit. We are at a point now where we always hear people talking good to us. We really do. I mean, that's why I feel like that's why we really aren't moved anymore, because so many of us are numb to the fact that people talking to us. We hear good shit all the time. You can go on, you can tune in at any point in time and hear good shit from people. People feel that for the however many 10 seconds, 2 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever the video is. And then they're going back to their regular lives, because if it, and I'm not saying they're not impacted, but if it's not something that they can take away, we live in an age, because I'm guilty of this. If I can't take something from that I can use in everyday life, I ain't talking about no feel good shit. I'm talking about some shit that you told me. Well, when I leave here, I can go directly look it up, find the link, or and be able to get on off that. If I'm not getting that, I'm not fucking interested, because all of that is just talking points. Everybody has a talking point now, but they're not doing no fucking work. It makes me angry. You know why? Because I'm one of the ones who ain't trying to get all the talking points. I don't fuck a YouTube channel to me. Being honest, I'm more grassroots. I'll talk about what I'll do for 20 minutes on the internet. Talk about, well, we need this or we need that. I'm not one who will ever get up here and say we need a community center. You know why? Because I ain't got the money yet. I said yet to build a community center. I ain't finna get out here and tell nobody else what they need to do when I ain't got them going doing it. And I think that's a disconnect for us. We just want to sound good.
I don't know about that, because some people, they have been able to make change to different contents. I don't know to what level, but it all depends on the individual person. Nobody can't save. The way how I look at it is that person has to make the movements on their own. The video could direct them, right? Because, okay, me personally, I speak about motivational positivity, thinking positive thoughts. I do live it. I tell my clients that. I teach my clients that. I preach that in my particular videos, and I can't force no one to think more positive, to think more positive thoughts. And I'm not talking about just being positive every day. Of course, there's going to be some negative stuff, yes, but being more proactive with using positive solutions. So that's what I speak on, particularly. And law of attraction, I actually do these things on an everyday basis. That's what my life consists on. And that's what I talk to my clients. That's what I talk to the, people in the social media outlet on. So the only way I could see how they, and if they want further, they do DM me and I talk over some of the situations with them, if they do DM me on it. And me personally, I don't see nothing wrong with doing the YouTube, because you can use the YouTube like your ground's root. You can use the YouTube to spread out there, and that could reach someone else that be like, oh, okay, I see what she's saying. And they could further contact you, and, y'all could talk things over about whatever particular subject, to help that person out. I look at the YouTube thing as the avenue. Yes. Is there a lot of people just doing it for a fad and trend? A lot of people just doing it for money? Yes, it is. If you're doing a service, I don't see nothing wrong with gaining money from it, as long as the service is really bringing some change in some person's life. But we don't know what level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's so much other factors involved with it. And I believe a person, the only one a person can save is themselves. So someone may do a video about how to create a book. Okay, I listen to it. They direct me to it. They talk about why. They talk about how I could gain a resource, how that book could help others. Okay, now it's up to me to do further research. Okay, if I want to trademark it, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And for me to actually apply it and to create it. To me, it all depends on the person's self-action.
Right. I can agree with that. I just, I always like to have a different, talking point coming at it. I'm definitely not saying that having discussions like this or empowering people, I'm definitely not saying that that's not a good thing. It's just for me personally. I can stand 10 toes on what I personally believe. I just believe that I look at church. I know personally, I got some relatives who are phenomenal fucking pastors. Even though I don't believe the traditional way, they're phenomenal. They're very motivating, but they motivate you. And when you leave out of there, it ain't shit else that you got going on. So for me, that's still a disconnect. And I get it. They can motivate a person to you know, want to stop drinking or stop doing drugs because they made them see the value in themselves. Okay, I get that. But when the service is over and that person needs to go to a sober house, does that preacher have that resource? That's my thing right there. I'm one of those. I'm tired of this fake ass, you know, sorry for the party words, but I'm tired of this fake ass commentary where everybody want to talk and tell everybody what to do, but you're not fucking doing it. I can't go for that. It's kind of like I heard somebody the other day telling, well, we need to start, black people, we need to start teaching our kids coding. How the fuck you gonna tell somebody to code when you are not even teaching your kids to code? You understand what I'm saying? So as black people, we hear other good talking points and we just go off of those just to sound good, when behind that, we don't realize we traumatize some people behind these talking points. For real, for real. You don't know how many inboxes you don't know how many inboxes I get based off a motherfucker and told. Perfect example. I'll give you an example. About 2 weeks ago, somebody was putting out information about pardons. They were putting out information. Most of the information that they was putting out was accurate, but they left off a lot of information as pertains to the person actually being able to get the pardon. People looked at that information, and within 20 minutes, I had 7 inboxes because they needed me to direct them on the you know, the line by line, the details of it. So my thing is that, how can you present yours? And I'm not saying that it wasn't effective, because it did get 7 more people engaged on a path to actually try to get their pardon. I'm not saying that, but how you gonna put yourself out there, but you ain't ready to do the groundwork? You passing it off to some fucking body else. That, for me, a groundworks worker, I don't like that, because I'm the one who have to. I'm like you said, really inboxes? Yes, really. Because they're not confident enough in that arena to say, well, hey, they made me feel good, but they ain't give me shit. Pastors go to church, they make you feel good. You know how many people go to church, and when they leave out of church, I get an inbox from them. Well, TJ, I feel good about this, but shit, the pastor told me to pray away my mental health. I just feel like I need a little more than that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the talking points make you feel good temporarily. And again, it's not all the way down the book. I never use that argument, not everyone, because when you say not everyone, you've already lost the argument. We already know everything that don't apply to everybody. So I get that. It's just, it seems there is a general consensus to where people talk, but they ain't walking. And again, I'm one of those that you can't walk in every aspect. I get that. But the areas that you hard in, you got to be able to walk that walk. See, can't nobody come and tell me to want to, you advocating, you ain't did shit for the community. You telling black folks, they can't tell me that. My resume is thicker than a lot of politicians when it comes to, especially in my hometown. They can't tell me that, because I've done the work. I've done felon job fairs where they had 150 people come through the door at the library when they had to close the doors of the library because we had so many people coming through and wanted to little old me. So I've done, and it's not about an I, but guess what? It is an I. The reason why is because people will sit around and talk, but I was the one who drove my ass and put myself in an uncomfortable position, use my money. I did that to be able to bless other people. I did that beyond on the internet, telling them you can get your pardon, empowering them. I empowered motherfuckers, but then they kept hitting my inbox. So what was the purpose of me empowering them and not being able to show them how to actually follow that shit through? That's my thing. You guys, it's a lot of areas where we're not following through. Not which, for me, I see too much motivation and not enough groundwork. That's just me. I see too. Fuck the motivation. I can motivate myself. That's what people fail to realize. Everything you need is already within anyway. So you don't need nobody telling you shit. For real, for real. It just sparks something in you, maybe. But for real, we don't need nobody telling us nothing if we get down and get in tune with our own self. It ain't nothing nobody can tell me to motivate me. I can get in tune with my own self because I know what I need to do. Really, when somebody telling me something, they ain't doing it but calling me to make me feel good with what I already thought. And it just kind of makes me say, well, okay, let me do a little more because they see where I'm coming from. Everything we got is internal. Everything.
Yeah. And really, and that is true. You know, everything, we could do everything. You know, some may do things a little bit better, but we could do everything in time. You know what I'm saying? Some people may have a gift in this and that, but it's just majority, well, I can't speak to majority of the world because I don't really have the facts for that. But, you know, certain people have that self-will like you, that they could do it themselves. Certain people may need a little push, as we know in our field.
That's true. But even when they need the push, perfect example. In our field, somebody needs to put we give them a motivational speech, you know, motivational session, and they feel empowered to say, well, you know what? I'm tired of living in this group home and I really want my own place.
Okay.
We done built them up and they ready to move. But if we ain't got no fucking resources and you know how, just be a buck with it.
Okay.
Just be a buck with it. You can have and that resource ain't gonna have no funding. So you might have to give them 20 fucking resources. Who is in the real life world who up here doing motivational talk and making people feel good is gonna answer their fucking phone 20 times when that person get turned down for 20 different places saying that they don't have no fucking housing funding? I'm the one that's gonna answer the phone after them 20 times. So when you up there talking, you wasting their time. You not just talk to them for 1 minute, say a good little speech, and then send them on to a tangible resource instead of wasting all that time. Because what's happened is they done went through 20 fucking resources because you made them feel good. But damn, the reality is we all know, we personally know it is a process, but we also know the population of people that we deal with after 5 or 6 times, they're going to get demotivated and they're going to want to stay in that group home.
Yes, they are. And that is a good example. And you are right about that, because with the population we deal with, we got to have the particular place that's hiring, the particular place in that hiring, and the motivated them just to fill out the application and that place is hiring, and that place have available housing. Yeah.
Okay. I want to, it's good. I'm glad that you brought that up. Let's just say this. We've discussed this before.
Yes,
with transportation, with the population that we serve. See, I'm one, and I keep it a buck, even still now. I'm willing to put myself in harm's way in a sense, because I believe I believe in the Creator. I believe that as long as I'm doing righteous work by people, ain't nothing gonna happen to me in my car if I happen to take somebody somewhere. Do you see what I'm saying? To me, that's going above and beyond. I can't talk to nobody and make them fucking feel good and then use the excuse that, well, I can't put you in my car because it's a liability when this motherfucking lady is hungry, homeless, or need to get to a shelter. See, for me, that's a disconnect. How I'm gonna sit on the phone and make her feel good by her being put out her house and her kids, they homeless, they out here in this rain and this cold, they ain't got nowhere to go. I'm gonna build her up. Yeah, I'm gonna make her feel good to want to go do something more. But when I hang up, she ain't got no fucking where to go. That bullshit is out in one ear and out the other.
2, it's the client's intent too, because that is right.
Take away clients. Take away clients. We can talk about anybody, regular people, you and I. You ain't about clients now.
Yeah. Okay. It's the regular people's intention. I remember one of them. I remember this person that I used to have as a client. She needed back when I used to give rides. And she started trying to use me. So I figured that out. And I was like, okay, well, you gotta start, but not saying everyone is like that. But, of course, we're going to have some of those bad apples and some of those people that see that, and I do see what you're saying, because that is a big key point. It's like, okay, well, if you ain't going to take them in your car, do you have enough money to where you could get to MARTA to get to this specific place? You know what I'm saying? And if they don't, then you got to see, okay, well, where's all your money going? Then that leads to, and I was just speaking in terms of clients, but let me speak in terms of everybody. Because with driving, and you are right, that is it is a and I can see how that's be a disconnect. We're actually driving to the person after you're talking to them. But we do got certain the things that happen if you get in an accident, with one of them, with a regular person, that person may turn around and sue you. It may legitimately be your fault. Now you was trying to help out that person, but you end up putting yourself in a hole. Or what if that person has seizures and end up getting a seizure in your car, you know, and then you pull up, and then you stop, and then you do the procedures, you know what I'm saying? But what if something happens? So it is a lot of factors into that. But it does go back to what you say, though, you know, not putting that fear out there, because you know that you're doing holy work. You know that you're actually doing the work. So, you know, you will be protected with that. So I do see what you're saying. I was just bringing up some of the deeper details that could happen, because I remember that same client who was starting to use me. I ended up getting in an accident with her. You know, thank God that she wasn't so severely hurt, but she was able to get to the hospital. You know, I checked on her and everything. And, you know, I gave her the follow, you know, I gave her my information and all that, you know what I'm saying, for she could pursue the legal matters, you know, because at the time it was my fault, you know. So, but I don't know whatever happened to that situation. I think she just kind of I know she got healed, but I think she just kind of just never went through and followed through with that situation, you know. But, you know, just being in this online work, it's like areas of gray. It's like areas of gray, because you got to decide, you know, because with me, I'm choosy with some of the clients I would take. You know, I take the ones I really trust, the ones I know that I got to feel the energy that's not going to take advantage of me. And that's just people with period. You know what I'm saying? You got to use discernment, you know, because, you know, even in this field with another one, I was taking him for he could get his clothes washed, and he used me as a booty call, because he was like, hey, after we get our clothes washed, mind you, I already took her to the spot. He's like, hey, I already called my girl. She gonna come and she's gonna ride in the car with us. I'm like, bro, you ain't even talked this over with me, you know? So, I mean, yeah, it's tricky.
Right. It's tricky. It even goes beyond the you're absolutely right about the vehicle thing, because you're the one who gave me a higher perspective on that, sharing what you just shared right then. But not even driving, just in any setting, you know what transpired with me and a write-up that I was given. I want to say this openly. You know about the write-up that I was falsely given, and it wasn't even me, right?
Yes.
And a higher ranking official in our job who is way upper than what we are as far as degrees and all that. When it was all said and done, and you don't even know this, last week, one of our favorites, I ain't gonna call her name, but Miss A, the one both of us like, A, her name started with A at the office. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Cool. We always say cool. She called me, and our boss lady, Miss F, you know, talked with both of them. Both of them apologized for that person. Then Miss A turned around and tried to have the lady who misidentified me and said I was in one car when that wasn't me. They tried to hook me up with her to apologize. Guess what I told Miss A? I don't want to talk to her. What's said and done. Who I need to apologize to me ain't even apologized yet. I don't want it because it's got to be forced. But my thing is, it just goes back to show that line. It ain't even got to be a car, because I wasn't in no car. I'm going trying to see. I wasn't even over there. I'm wrong. I was out of town. I was in my hometown that weekend. It was back in March when it happened. I was in Columbus, Georgia that weekend. But based on somebody who is educated and they're motivating, and they believe that I'm the type, because I'm so candid and because I might use a potty word, they labeled me as the one who would be the aggressor to cuss somebody out, and that was me when it wasn't even me. So that's why I'm saying that motivational nice shit don't go. See, they were motivational talking with that bitch. That bitch was motivational with telling them that it was me. It was motivational. No, you're laughing. I'm serious. They was motivational to fucking apologize, but they don't realize how that shit impacted me in a real way. Because you, as a fucking clinician in a real life setting, nigga, you could have 1013 me saying I was symptomatic. In a real life setting, nigga, if the police would have been called, my black ass would have lost. I ain't even talking about that pet ass job with them. All the shit I do on the back end that ain't got shit to do with that company that I would have lost out on because a motherfucker think that they're motivational and they're fucking educated. So I don't go for that nice shit.
Yeah.
I don't go for it. And I was just as candid as I am with you, with them. Fuck that bitch. That's what I told Miss A. Miss A, fuck that bitch. When I went over to that bitch house to clarify that day when the bitch misidentified me, I didn't hear from the bitch. So I don't want to hear from the bitch 4 months later. The end.
Yeah.
The end, because again, it goes to what you said in that moment. You didn't have no fucking follow-up. Like what I'm saying, when you motivate a person and you ain't got no follow-up, you leave them motherfuckers out there to drown because you don't know how that impacts their real motherfucking life. A person who didn't have a felony, when you motivating them and you telling them good shit about how to get their life back on track. Let me pull this up. I don't talk about it. I can show you. Let me pull it up on my last. I can show you to where I'm talking about. Hey, where I pulled up, where I was doing pardons, and one of the guys who I helped, I was just doing motivational speaking, and he went under the bottom of the post. It's probably so far back now I can't find it. He went under the post and said, not only did she speak, but she stayed there afterwards and gave us a piece of paper for our pardon. See, I don't just talk to you. Because, see, I talk to you. If I would have just talked to him and left, this nigga wouldn't have had his pardon and he wouldn't be driving trucks right now and have his own trucking company 3 years later. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he was one that affirmed that thought for me. How can I just have talking points and not have anything to follow it up with? That's just me. I ain't gonna never present that to nobody because I feel like I'm selling them part of a dream. Now, I ain't saying I won't say something that'll kickstart you and give you a little gas to want to go a little further. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But if I'm putting out anything, I ain't finna tell you all this shit to make you feel good. We need to do this. We need to think higher ourselves. But I ain't got nothing tangible to make you go think higher about yourself. I can't do that. To me, that's church. That's church. And so many woke people now are against church, but we do the same thing that the fucking pastor do on a Sunday. We just do it every other day of the week. What do we most of these YouTube speakers do that a pastor ain't doing? It's fucking entertaining. I can't speak
about the YouTube speakers, Tawana. I'm not in a lie. I can't speak about that, you know.
As a general consensus, I know you can't speak individually. As a general consensus,
yeah,
you can't act like you don't see it. See, I ain't telling you to get personal because I know it can't none of us be in everybody's life now. I know we can't all do what everybody doing, but as a general consensus, when you see these people up here talking, they're talking, but what shit are they able to apply to you after the fact?
I see what you're saying. So more follow-ups. And as a YouTuber, what would you, and as a motivational speaker, what would you say, how can I do follow-ups? You know, and I'm just using me because that's something that you know me, you know, I know you personally, you know, and since I'm in that bubble, what would you say that I could do, as a follow-up, because you did give me a higher perspective. Like maybe I should, I don't know, like DM, the people that comment and said this really helped me and ask for a follow-up or something.
That's it. You don't know how many people, when I tell you the guys back in my hometown who hard dudes, one of them was finna jump off a bridge and commit suicide. I'm talking about a hard drug dealing thug nigga from back in the day. Hard, you would have never imagined. But his wife was at the time was taking him through changes. When I saw that, I just inboxed him, and that started a dialogue. And to this day, every blue moon, not often, every couple of months, hey bro, where your mental at? Just it. Okay. Anytime somebody, everybody, I got a video that's out there right now that probably has over 4,000 views from where I did my first pardon video showing people how to get pardons. Do you know how many people have gotten a pardon? Do you know when I called the first bail, free at last bail company up here in Atlanta and East Point, they knew the name of Recovery Wars by me just calling in and telling them who I was with. They said one of they old men hadn't seen my videos on there. You know what? I do a follow-up to everybody who comment on my video. Hey, were you able to download? In my description box, I got the link to where the application is. I got a step-by-step to show them how to fucking do their pardon. I show them how to do a character letter. I put examples up there. I don't just talk this motherfucking shit because people need it. They need it. Everybody who commented on that video, they got a response from me. I got half of them email. Every so often I'll follow up with them. Have you gotten your pardon yet? Some of them, thanks to you, I've gotten my pardon. The other one, they ain't filled it out yet. Fill this shit out, man. It's not going to happen unless you make it happen. That's the motivation. When you've already sparked the light, you got to fucking follow up to make sure it's right. You ain't did shit just by sparking the light unless that counter is lit with a whole flame.
Yeah.
So for me, you've got to follow up. It's about follow up. And as black people, the white people do us like that all the time. Joe Biden just did it the other day when he signed that Juneteenth. He done coddled a lot of niggas to make them okay and shut up for a long time now. That ain't about shit. That's not nothing tangible. That's just a free fucking day. So what I'm saying, stop giving people free fucking days with nothing tangible. Not you per se, but I'm saying in general, we give people just stuff, but no tangible stuff. If it ain't nothing but we're in the field. Do you know how much my if it wasn't for a worksheet that I printed out October 2019, I wouldn't have got some confirmation personal stuff for my adult daughter if it weren't for those. If it ain't nothing but putting a link to the worksheet. We do it. We do this. Make them think deeper. Don't just make them think about what you said, because what Negroes do, nigglings, that's what I call us now, nigglings. What we do is listen to what a person say, and we don't go do no research. We just take what they say at face value. See, some people are going to like you more. I'm going to tag you through Facebook. Some people are going to like you more just based on, your demeanor. They ain't going to like me. That shit don't matter to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? None of that matters. What can you bring to the table? What can I bring to the table so we collectively can make a difference in our people's lives? The end.
Got you.
It's always about a follow-up. You can't leave nobody out. It ain't about just clients. It's in everyday life. You can't just tell me something and leave me high and fucking dry and expect me to figure it out. That's setting somebody up for failure right there. That's what I'm saying. And I know in every scenario you're not able to follow through, but you see what I stick to? What I stick to? Jail shit, don't I?
Jail stuff. Yeah.
You know why? Because that's my fucking forte, and I know what I'm talking about, and I do the work. So that way I can talk hard like this because I got the proof to fucking show about felons. I can show you why I done got people out of jail. I can show you why I done did felon jobs fair. I can show you why I done did all this shit. I can show you why I can did events with policemen and bring policemen and having them talking to the public. I can show you this shit. I can show you why I done got 12, 13 people that partners in the state of Georgia. I can show you this. So that's why I talk about it. I ain't finna go over here talking about just making a boy. It might be a talking point, but I'm just not just my thing. Black women protect black women. No, I ain't finna talk about that shit because that ain't my forte, and I ain't finna go out there under that bull. I'm not finna advocate and have no tangible shit to give you under that.
Got you. Have no tangibles. So you know what?
It said even begging an American white able to stop writing no blacks on their dating profiles. Wow. Black metal founders, men all over Europe, LBG scene. I don't know who this is. This is somebody new. They didn't join on the YouTube. They're talking through YouTube, but they're talking about LBG, the LBG agenda. We'll kind of go over that also. I appreciate the comments. I can't pronounce your name. I don't know if it was Teos, Raphael, Nigas, Insta. I can't pronounce it, but I appreciate the feedback there. It says Black Beta Foundation of American Men is all over Europe, LGBTQ scene. Wow. I can agree with that. We're gonna touch on that. So I really appreciate. I don't know. Are you comfortable with that? You know me. I don't care. And I none of what my thoughts are his thoughts. Okay, he's in Nipsey country. Okay, then thank you for tuning in. All right, then same land as Tiffany Haddish. Okay, then thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. But yeah, so let's just dive into that since it came up.
Okay. Look, I can wrap up that other conversation. That way, we close that segment, and what I do is quickly. So, all in all, viewers, take what you take. I get the point. If you're a motivational speaker, or if you're just somebody, just a regular person that's advocating for something, make sure it's something that is your forte. That way you can follow up on it and do more than just after the speech. Yeah.
And I do want to highlight the fact that you were saying about how littering it can connect us to our higher self. You understand what I'm saying? Put that thought in your subconscious if you clean your area, because it's like how we said, decluttering your house can also help you, in essence, kind of declutter your life. So I absolutely love the fact that you brought that as a talking point, because it does apply. I don't want you to think it doesn't apply. I just always like to bring a perspective from both sides. I don't want to seem like it's biased, because if we just speak from one perspective, then it's considered bias. Now, some things I am biased on, and I can live in my truth. However, I'll always try to give an opposing talking point, so that way both sides can see it. So yeah, I really think you guys need to think about that. What Brother Dwayne said, it is true. I totally agree with how around us can impact our internal. I agree with that. Now, I ain't gonna say that having trash on the ground ain't gonna make you be your highest self. I don't agree with that part, but I do agree with the fact of the external things definitely have an impact on how we internalize, or either how our behaviors are displayed. So just to kind of dive right in on what he's talking about, if I'm candid, I really appreciate you again, Mateos, Raphael, for bringing this up, because I wasn't even going to dive in it tonight. It was just kind of something that's always kind of redundant right now. But I did see you should have rocked. Now I like him. It's a link right there if you want to come up. Look in the link is on the screen if you want to come up. He said you should have fought for reparations before interracial and integration. I totally fucking agree. I totally agree. He's getting back to this Juneteenth thing being reparations. I totally agree with that. But to stay on topic with the LBG, I want to stay focused. I was earlier. I was looking at her because this is a talking point that never dies down. A lot of people are afraid to talk about this community of people. Let me just be candid. What I say has nothing to do with what Dwayne's thoughts are. My thoughts are mine alone. So whatever I say that might offend somebody or may not offend somebody, please do not direct it to him, because these are my own independent thoughts. While we may love each other, we might not always agree. So I don't want anything that I might say, because sometimes my delivery may come across harsh. I don't want him to be penalized for anything that my thoughts are. Let me be clear on that. These are my independent thoughts alone. They're not his. Whatever he says, that's on him. If I agree, I can candidly say that. Now, let me just begin by saying earlier today, like I said, I've been looking at a lot of stuff today. What her name, Angela Stanton, came across, and then with her son, and they're trying to make her call her son. Her son is like a girl, dresses as a girl now, and they're trying to force her to call her son whatever, Jade or whatever the girl name. She's like, hell no, he's a boy. He was born a boy. I'm his mom. I'm gonna da. So for me, And I know this is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people. And for me, I get upset when people get sensitive when it's regarding this population of people, because we could talk about black folks. We could talk about every other population fucking people. Black women call them ratchet hoes. We could talk about niggas and call them niggas ain't that. They thugs. We could talk about everybody else. But you can't talk about the LBG, because if you did, you're homophobic. I'm not homophobic. I just don't like seeing black men in dresses and wigs. I don't like seeing the agenda promoted so much among the black population. If that's what you call it, then I can be candid and say it is what it is. Go ahead.
So the LGBT community, they want to tell her how she should refer to her son.
Right. They're telling her that she's homophobic because she won't the child that she birthed as a son. I'm a mom. The child that your dad, the child that she birthed as a son, ain't went through no gender transition and none of that, wants to be called a girl. They're telling her that she's homophobic for not addressing her son as a girl. And to me, that's just another way how big government has inserted themselves in your personal fucking household. See, people think I be being hard with that nice. You see, you want to be nice. See, y'all being nice don't want to call nobody out. That nice shit is making it where you can't even chastise your kid how you want to do in your own fucking household where you pay the bills.
That, and my standpoint is that's her household. She gave birth to the kid, so let her address the kid how she wants to. She gave birth to the kid now. I mean, because let's keep it real. The LGBT, they're going to say that, oh, you should address this kid as a girl. Okay. And what if she does? I doubt the LGBT community is going to come back to that kid 20 years later or 15 later. Well, hell, even 5 years later, just to kind of do a follow-up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So mm-hmm. I mean, okay, my whole standpoint is the LGBT. I seen the rise of them, since I was in my young 20s, right? I seen how they position themselves in positions of power to where now, if you have an opposing opinion, they consider you a homophobe. Now to me, the LGBT has become the bully, and they used to be bullied. And me being a person that used to be bullied, I could relate to them with that. I could understand the pain, but I had to heal. I can't. Me personally, I can't stigmatize every black man, and think he's a hood guy, and think he's going to beat me up because that's what I dealt with back in the past. Right. I have evolved from that. So I'm saying with the LGBT, I understand that they have been mistreated in the past, and I personally agree that they should be able to, be able to be them, be able to, live their own life, blase. And as long as they ain't infringing on anybody, basically, as long as they're not infringing on somebody else, right, I ain't got a problem with that. But this case right here, they're infringing on the right of the parent. So that's the issue. You know what I'm saying? And I believe they are wrong. They can't tell this woman how to raise her child, because she's going to be with that child forever. I mean, she gave birth to that child. She's going to see the child grow up. So the child may want to be called a she right now, but the child, like 3 years later, 4 years later, that child may be like, nah, I want to be a boy, Well,
okay, now let me give you a little more insight. The child in question is 19 years old. The child in question now has moved out of the house and making lots of money on the social media platforms. That's why I say this social media shit ain't good, because everybody, I ain't saying it's not good. It ain't all. Again, I never do the all argument. It's not good, because when you see shit like that, it's a discord. It's creating a bigger discord. You understand what I'm saying? Because now baby, little boy getting money. So now, you know, he got this mindset that he can do what he want to do. Mama ain't finna let him keep disrespecting her in her fucking house. So mama said, get out. I understand that as mama. That don't mean mama don't love her child. It's just some stuff I'm not finna tolerate. Me and my daughter just got through having this conversation. My daughter just had this conversation, and it was surrounding the PPP. My daughter said, Mama, and you know I make money, but if I came here and just had $20,000, you would ask me where I got it from. I would. When my kids were younger, would come home and they had a fucking toy. Where did you get this from? If I didn't buy it, I need to know where the hell you got it from. Because I'm sure somebody else's parent didn't buy it for you to bring it over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we tiptoe around it. And I agree with what you're saying. I'm going to say this. The fact that God saw fit for everybody to be born and have life, that's enough for me to not disrespect you. Hear what I'm saying? Because a lot of people say, you got to respect me, I got to respect you. I ain't got to respect you. I just don't have to disrespect you. Because see, I cannot respect what the fuck you doing. I don't respect Michael Fountain anymore. I'm calling his name out. I don't respect him at all. I can say that candidly, openly. I have zero respect for him. Does that mean I'm gonna disrespect him? No. I just don't have no respect for him based off what the fuck he's shown me. That don't mean I'm gonna go around disrespecting him. See, that's what, for me, a lot of people got it confused. You ain't got to respect me, just don't disrespect me. You ain't got to respect me. I ain't got to respect you because it's some things that I'm not gonna rock with. And if I'm saying that I rock with you, that means I respect what you did, and I don't respect that. I respect gay black men. I ain't saying I love that, but I respect a gay black man, a man who's putting on his manly clothes. I can see the little flamboyance or whatever, you know, I can respect that. I might be hypocritical in what I'm saying, but I can still stand here and fucking say it and stay 10 toes down with it.
Yeah.
I really don't have a problem with, I don't like seeing it, but I don't have no problem with per se a gay man who dresses like a man. I don't. I can see the little sweetness or whatever. That don't, I ain't saying I love it, but I can deal with that. I don't like seeing black men in wigs, fucking dresses, nails, and all that. The thing about it is, I know I'm not the only one because I have a million people that talk to me behind closed doors and say all kind of stuff and agree with me, but on a public platform, they don't want to be labeled. They want their job. They want to be nice. They want to be politically correct. Okay, my thing is this, again, not bashing anybody, but how in the fuck me supporting it? How is that significant? What am I supporting? How is that going to change the state of society? How? I don't like seeing that. It's a fucking agenda. They're making all this stuff. Pedophilia. They're making everybody, like we saw Meg the Stallion video the other week.
Yeah.
That video got flagged, by the way, because of the music.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a copyright strike. Yeah. But see, look, I don't care. See, that's the difference. Let me show you this. See, listen, I ain't trying to get monetized. I ain't trying to get monetized. So that's why I say the fuck I want to say. You see what I'm saying? I don't worry about if they strike it or not. I ain't trying to get no fucking check off this because I work in real life and I do the groundwork work. So I don't care. This shit don't matter to me. This shit is just to get people to think more, to go and look up stuff more, to be able to actually get in tune with what's really going on around. But when you look at the Meg Thee Stallion video, not only is it promoting like pedophilia, he just put, I got to show you what he said. You just lost me then. Look what he put in here. Okay. He said he coming to America, do his own manufacturing. Look what he got on the screen. Who gonna help him?
Yeah. I see.
I
see. I don't know if that might happen. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna take that name off. I'm gonna take that name off of there. But anyway, what was I saying? Hold on, let me get back on track here. But what I was saying was, if you look at her videos, she's portraying in that Crybaby video childlike behaviors, attire. It's in the setting of a toy store. So who is that catered to? Children, correct?
Children, exactly.
Okay. In the second video that we saw last week that got flagged, first she's promoting pedophilia towards children in a roundabout way. It's risque towards children. Let me just say that. Last week the video was just cut the man penis off and make his penis into a vagina, make his mouth into a vagina. If that right there wasn't it was disgusting for one.
It was creepy.
Very disgusting. It was very disgusting for one. Then it made me think of, so y'all just look, he said women as savage. I want her to promote black women as feminine. She will never do that. Megan Thee Stallion is a mold for promoting the gay agenda. Men, look at that last video we had. A lot of those are men in that video, in those videos that are dancing. My thing is this: I have no problem with men dancing, but if you see I'm a female. If you see a Meg Thee Stallion shaking her ass, you're gonna think that every other individual in that video shaking their ass is a woman. So my only thing is she's wrong because she ain't candid to say this 3 niggas shaking their ass in the video along with me. See, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. See, that's why I go back to saying you can't talk motivational shit and not have nothing to go, because she's saying one thing, my ass fat, my pussy good, and I can ride it and thought shit. Now, she's saying all of that as a woman, but she's showing you some niggas that's in her video that's dancing. I have a problem with that. All the niggas that look at her video, they think they looking at ass. They are, but they're looking at women and men's ass. And I know several of my homeboys who ain't about that like gay life. But I look at them sideways because them niggas always on the Meg Thee Stallion videos. So to me, if you're going to look at a Meg Thee Stallion video, you might well go look at gay porn.
Yeah.
Or gay men twerking. Let me just say that. I ain't going to say porn. Gay men twerking. You might as well. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It is. It is. And, you know, it would have been different if she put a disclaimer up on the video and been like, hey, these 3 guys are, you know, guys. And if the guy continued to watch that, okay. But now, since since hopefully men are catching on to that Meg Thee Stallion be having transgenders in her video, stay away from watching them. Okay. You know, because I'm not trying to look at no man.
Just what you said now. What you said, it should be a disclaimer, right?
It should be a disclaimer. It should be.
No, America, fuck disclaimer. America, we live on lies now. That's what we live on. They don't give on. Let me show you why. Let me show you why we live on lies now. Let me show you this. Hold on. How do I do this? How do I do this? Let me turn my camera on for a hot second. So, do you see that?
Birth certificate. Georgia will amend the sex on a birth certificate.
On a birth certificate.
Upon
certified court order indicating sex of an individual born in the state has been changed by a surgical procedure. So basically what it's saying is you can change in Georgia. You can change your birth in any state. It's a lot of states like that. Not any of them. It's like, I think it's 38 states like that where you can go and change. I can be a girl. I'm born female. I got titties. I have a pocketbook down there. But let's just say, I want to go and I'm Tawana, but I want to be Tommy. So I can go and change my gender and change my birth certificate. So my birth certificate will tell you, you meet me in downtown Atlanta 6 months from now, and you think that you got a homeboy. Hey, I'm Tommy, and you've been hanging out with me, and we click because we already vibe. As female and male, we vibe. So the vibe will still, the energy won't change. You understand what I'm saying? But you vibing with me as Tommy, and then 3 months later, you fuck around and find out that I'm really Tawana, but I changed my ID. How that make you feel? I'm gonna give it to you deeper. You got your daughter's 6, right?
Yes.
Okay. 20 years from now, your daughter bring home this guy. Some about him, there's energy to tell you that some just ain't quite right about this shit. Because everybody want to be nice. Everybody want to be nice. Everybody want to be politically correct. Everybody want to say you homophobic if you say this. No. If your daughter come home 20 years from now with this dude, and it's just some not quite, you don't know what it is, but discernment, because that's something that we have.
Yeah.
And you just say, well, let me just pry, because this is my only baby girl, and my baby girl finna get married off, and ain't no man gonna be right for her, because from a daddy's point of view, just being honest, daddy's gonna be daddy. But it's just something about this dude that just really, and you find out that Daryl was once Dana. And your daughter finna marry Daryl. But right now and today, you want to be politically correct and you don't want to offend nobody. See, that's why I say fuck offending somebody. Because I be goddamn 10 years down the road, my daughter thinks she finna marry a man and this a goddamn woman. Or my son think he finna marry a woman and this a goddamn man. Fuck that. That's offensive. Because you're allowed to lie to perpetuate, and then everybody want to walk around, and act like I'm wrong. How the fuck am I wrong when y'all got the laws right here where something that's born one thing. So in other words, my dog that I know is a dog. You come over here, I'm gonna tell you that's a fucking cat, and you better not argue with me.
Exactly.
It's a cat.
Yeah. Wow.
How would you feel?
I'll be mad. I'll be enraged. I'll be like, I'm not, not sugarcoating it. I would not accept that. I would not accept that, because that was, she was a she. Then she changed into a man, and because she may have got some surgery down there, she thinks she a man. She thinks she has experience life as a man,
Mm-hmm.
And because she gets some testosterones injected in her, no. Her energy is still very much feminine. No, I wouldn't agree with that.
But in essence, we've already agreed to it because it's already happening. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It has already,
it's already happened. That's why I don't play that play nice stuff, because that play nice stuff allows people to lie to you. That's a fucking lie. America lets people go around lying about who the fuck they are, but then they want to get mad when somebody is candid about who they are and transparent about, hey, that's not disrespectful. I'm calling a fucking spade a spade. You cannot tell me a fucking orange is an apple. I don't care how much you try to switch it and do this and that. An orange is still a fucking orange, and an apple is an apple. Now you can mix them together and it might become a nectarine or whatever the hell they call it. I can get that, but I'm not finna go for you telling me something is born. A human being, a man, with their chromosomes are born a man, but then they get to go and change their ID to say that they're a woman in America. I'm supposed to go along with that. I'm supposed to not feel like yesterday, a couple came over to groom my dogs. Had them come here. When they got here, when they text me, it said me and my wife will be here. But when they got there, it was two bitches. Okay, I'm cool. I'm cool with whatever. I go off your energy. I ain't got to be over into you or whatever, but they were polite, they were pleasant, they did a fantastic job. I will use them again.
Yeah.
Truthfully. But I did ask them this. I said, well, when you had told me, you said you and your wife, but then I come to find out they're not married. So then you lied again. See, I'm just being candid on little shit. Because if you let the bullshit slide, that's why we've gotten to a point to where now you can't talk about them. I said, well, y'all married. Oh, no, we're gonna get married. I said, well, don't say that. Because me, I'm one of those that I already be having funny. And I asked them, I said, well, I hope y'all ain't one of them that want to be called them. They heard this, because I don't want to offend nobody. Oh, no, we not like that. The reason why I asked right now is because I'm not finna go around changing day and then. I'm not finna do that shit. I'm not finna do that.
Yeah.
I'm not finna do it. It's not saying I'm not finna be understanding of another person and their perspective. What I'm gonna do is remove myself from the situation, because I be damned if I call a Timmy a Tammy. Just because Timmy want to be addressed as that. If I know Timmy is Timmy, respectfully, you're gonna be Timmy. If you don't want to call me to call you Timmy, let my black ass go somewhere else. Now I'm not trying to disrespect you, but I'm also not gonna let you make me feel uncomfortable by saying, well, I don't want to be called a her or she. Call me they and them. What the fuck do you mean? They and them is plural for a bunch of fucking people. Now you changing the whole concept of what the English language, how we've grown to learn how to dialogue with it. So I'm in a place to where I don't feel it. He said, laughing like I'm dead, sis. I'm in a place where I don't feel none of this. I just don't. And again, it's never ever to disrespect nobody. It's not to make anybody feel bad. It's just the reality. And if you look at every other population of people, you don't see no fucking Asian men up in dresses on the TV doing it. You don't see no fucking white men's on the TV like that as they doing it. You don't see no other population. So that's why I speak on black men. You might not like it, but I'm a black woman, so I can only again speak from a black perspective.
I was just talking to my girlfriend about this too, because it's like, okay, with the LGBT community, right? We know it's gay Asians, we know it's gay white people and all that, you know, but why do you only see black men as the face? Because black men has become the face of LGBT because they're targeting us. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you only see that?
I'm gonna say this too. I agree. It is a target against us, but I feel like us is the main perpetuators of the bullshit. You know why? We are, and I'm gonna say first, black women. Black women are the #1 champions for this bullshit, because they always want to be posted up somewhere. Hey, what you up there doing? That's my dog up there clowning. How can you complain that there are no good black men around, but your best friend every time we see you is with a, effeminate type male? Hell no, ain't no real nigga want to be around you if that's your best friend and you always got him around. Let's just keep it above.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, correct me. I might be speaking prematurely, but correct me. And again, I can live my truth. I don't have a problem with. See, this is where people get it twisted at. It ain't the whole LBG. I can really care less, because all of that don't impact my life. What impacts my life are the black effeminate men. You know why? That's probably why my ass still single. I'm up here in Atlanta where it's rampant with down low niggas.
Yeah, it is.
So you want me to just go out here and find a man because there's so many good men out here? And they ain't saying that there's not no straight men in Atlanta, because I know that's a false narrative to say that there are not any straight men. But at the same token, it ain't a lot of real niggas. See, I'm at the point of my life, nigga, if you did lay down with Tommy back in the day when you was 21, I'm grown enough within myself, and you could tell me that. See, I am. Let me decide. And the reason why I can say that is because it's a person that's on this social media, on social media on my Facebook, that I've known them since Germany. I put a post up, and it's a male. I put a post up about molestation and being violated sexually or whatever. This person had been. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It made me more attracted. So I already had a crush on him. I never told him that. We kind of flirted before, but they live in one state. I live here. But when they said that, I actually became more. The attraction manifested within me, being honest, because he was honest in that moment. I ain't saying I want to go lay up with him. Hear what I'm saying now? Yeah. Hear what I'm saying? It made me feel closer to him because he was honest enough to admit that, and he wasn't tiptoeing around stuff to make people feel good or trying to explain his manhood or trying to make you feel like he a real nigga. He is who he is. It does not change him as a man. The fact that he could acknowledge it and being able to, that means he's healed in it and he's not questioning his manhood in it. To me.
Yeah. Definitely. And he reached a level of just acceptance, you know, and that's like true manhood shit.
Right. I think it's just easy now. Brothers are able to get on more. For me, I just don't like it. I don't like seeing. I'm just old school. I just kind of go back to the days of where, you know, they would say, and again, I get to some degree, there's no such thing as a gender role, but then again, there's a such thing as a gender role. So, like I say, I'm a walking contradiction. See, I can attest to it. I am a walking contradiction because to some degree, I feel like when you get hungry, your stomach ain't no gender. If you hungry, nigga, you better cook, whether you're a man or
yeah.
So to me, that's where that gender shit goes out the window. But then again, on certain, you know, some things, as a woman, hell no, I want to be on the front line. I'm a woman. I've been in the military. And the reason why I'm saying that, I ain't saying that we're not capable. But first thing we're going to do when we come on our period, start crying, my stomach cramping, my stomach hurt. How I'm going to be on the front line then? But then I want equality. You know, I want you to treat me the same and get paid the same. But when I come on my period, I want you to coddle me because remember, I'm a woman and my stomach hurt. See, that's a disconnect. So for men, I feel this day and age, it's just easier for men to get, look how women get coddled. We get free passes all the time. We could slap a nigga and they can't. So if a nigga put on a wig and act effeminate, then he can get away with a lot of the same shit that women be getting away with.
Then
for me, another level of it is if we're going to have these effeminate men putting on wigs and all that, why in the hell don't they represent the highest form or highest quality of black women? Why do they have to mimic the most degenerate type ass behavior from a black woman?
Yeah. And you know,
I'm going to say this. Somebody put Caitlyn Jenner. No, it's Caitlyn Jenner. I'm going to say this. Caitlyn Jenner, not that I agree with a man, with him turning to a fucking woman. But I'm going to say this. Caitlyn Jenner don't represent how the black gay men are represented. That bitch is represented with class and esteem. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Say the truth now. You don't see her ratchetness with, they don't display Caitlyn Jenner in no ratchet ass way. It's always up classy. You understand what I'm saying? It's never no working with an asshole or how they show our black men switching wigs or doing makeup tutorials or popping their ass or in the airport want to fight with somebody calling a woman black bitch or fit. You don't see that.
Yeah,
you don't You don't see that. Somebody, he says that she represents white LBG privilege that lives right. And she does, but one thing that I agree with what she did is she didn't like the fact Caitlyn Jenner don't want no young children doing no fucking sex changes. He adamant about that. So him, he, she, whatever it is, I can agree with them on that because they got enough cognitive understanding that even though they changed their body, let a person get grown enough before they make that goddamn decision. Don't be imposing this shit on children. So whether they LBG, white, privilege, or whatever, I can agree with that. See, that's why I say I'm a walking contradiction. See, I ain't finna just be with you just cause you're black all the time. Cause black motherfuckers fuck up. I fuck up.
Yeah, same here. I fuck up.
You ain't just be on your team cause you're black and ride the wave and everything that sound good and privilege this. No, it's some shit that we do to ourselves. So I ain't gonna be on that bandwagon that the white man this and the white man. It's a lot of shit that the black man doing to the black man. So I don't roll that way. I'll call a spade when it's a spade. But again, I'm asking you, why do we see the most degenerate behavior? Why don't we see our black men acting like a Caitlyn Jenner? If they gonna put on a wig and shit.
Yeah. I think learned behavior. I think them not taking the higher perspective on it, because you did make a good point right there. You know, Caitlyn Jenner, you know, he presented himself, you know, in a whole different light than what I see in Atlanta. And you know, why some men who are in that lifestyle, why do they, you know, they emulate and they exaggerate some female tendencies, you know? And it's like, is that really you or is that a learned behavior? It's like, okay, if you're homosexual, okay? But that aspect where you doing all this and that and shaving the head, that seems more like a learned behavior. Is that really you though? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why do you feel like, even if you're in that lifestyle, why do you feel like, or why do you portray yourself in such that low light? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, would you portray yourself in a higher light?
Right.
I really think it's learned behavior and it's programming from media, but also certain individuals not kind of really knowing who they are.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know if you heard the story here. It came out about 2 days ago, about 3 days ago. The young black boy here in the Atlanta area, it was all on the news, where he was on live and he was doing something like it's doing his hands or something. They said, stop acting gay or whatever. And they end up cutting his hair and cut the word gay in there. Defects came into a transgender advocate stepped in, and Defects has removed that child from the house.
That right there, him being removed from the house of his family, then if he's put in foster care, no, that is not helping him. That's not helping him. That's not helping him. He's getting put into the system. No.
So again, it goes back to you can't say shit about this population of people, and you're not able to parent in your own home. Because if you decide that you don't want your son crossing his legs or popping or whatever, which I feel, I'm gonna say it like this. I don't know if the little boy was born like that or not. But when I seen the video, the little boy was very fucking feminine to be that age or whatever. So the parents probably saw that, the feminine ways, and just telling him. And I'm not saying it's right, because as a parent, I made a lot of fucked up mistakes thinking that I was raising my kids the right way when I was really doing everything ass backwards. As a parent, I'll be the first to say that. But what I will say, it's not right for nobody outside this motherfucking household to come in if I ain't put my hands and beat my child. Now, I'm going to say this. I cut my son hair off one time. I did the same. He was acting fool in school. He wanted to grow some dreads or some plaits or something. I cut that shit off. Had him looking like George Jefferson. Was that right? Absolutely fucking not. But I'd be damned if somebody would have came in the house and take him out. And again, I'm not saying what I did was righteous, because when I look back on it, it was traumatizing. It was wrong. So I am not saying that I handled that the right way. But I'd be damned if somebody would have came in and took my child and put him in Defects custody just because of that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. You being from the military, I can understand why you did that, because me coming from, I was never in the military, but my pops was in the military. So I wasn't able to have dreads. I was only able to keep my hair low, you know what I'm saying? Because just the image and everything. And really, I didn't see what was wrong with that. I mean, you cut his hair. I mean, he wasn't doing right. I don't really see nothing wrong with that. I mean, but that's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
What did you say again? I'm sorry.
Okay. I said, when you was talking about your situation with your son and you cut his hair off, to me, I didn't see that wrong, because he wasn't acting accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Now, I wouldn't do that to my daughter, of course, but I didn't see nothing wrong with you cutting his hair, to be honest. But that's just my perspective, though.
But from now that I work in behavioral health, I can see how that would have traumatized him as a child. Do you understand what I'm saying? So okay. I have to say my accountability. That's why I say accountability is a huge thing in this thing. I ain't saying it's so wrong, but I can also see where it would have impacted my son adversely. Do you understand what I'm saying? The embarrassment among his peers. You understand what I'm saying? See, I didn't think about that in that moment. That has a huge, how he responds after that incident has a huge part on what I did in that moment. Do you understand what I'm saying? So my accountability in it. I ain't saying I was right or wrong, but at the end of the day, that's what I did. I just feel like now parents are afraid. It's kind of like right there. I don't want nobody's child over my goddamn house right now. The reason why I say that, because if your little boy switching too goddamn much, I'm going to say something. I don't want you to feel like I'm chastising your child. I can't say if they were born like that or not. And again, it might be hypocritical of me. I ain't got shit to say about the women. You know why? Because I don't see the women being as put on this in our face like this, being masculized how the men are being masculized.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. I ain't saying, so I don't have a problem with that. Gays, whatever you going, women, whatever, that's cool. Again, that might be hypocritical for me to say that. I don't have a problem with gay men. I have a problem with effeminate men putting on wigs, makeup, hair, titties, ass, popping, and twerking. I have a problem with that. I don't know how much more clearer I can get on that right there. And when we tiptoe around it, what happens is it allows for more people to be able to change their identity on their birth certificate, not say anything. 10, 15 years from now, you think you got a room full of men, they're all really bitches that had they, thing changed, or either they're all men who had their thing changed. To me, I have a problem with that because you're asking me to lie about some shit that really is, I'm going to say it like this. Whether you believe in God, Yah, Jesus Christ, the creator, the universe, a higher being, whatever it is that the fuck that you believe in, you calling that thing a liar when you go for that right there. When you go for changing the DNA, changing the birth certificate from a man to a woman, you saying you're God, your creator, your Jesus, your Allah, your Yah, whatever you believe in, whatever that higher thing, that spiritual thing that you believe in, you're calling that a lie.
Calling it a lie.
And that's anybody. I said anybody that if you go for certain things, that means you calling your God, your spirituality, all of that a lie. Because how can you know that this is one thing and then you go for it to be another? How?
And then too, especially kids, kids should not be, kids should be kids. Kids should not be thinking about that. And two, come on now, let's not all act like as kids, a lot of us, we wasn't comfortable with our skin. It's a whole phase called teenager, we wasn't comfortable with how we look and, we was trying to find each other, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying a kid at a young age thinking about a sex change, like, whoa, hold up, man. You're going to the extreme. Grow, learn to love yourself. It's still people that's learning to love yourself. It took me a minute to be like, hey, I love being dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I love being dark skinned. Like, hey, I'm comfortable with my speech impediment. Hey, I stutter. I don't give a fuck. I'm still the shit.
That's right. That's right. I'm just, I don't know. I always, this is one of those conversations to where I never want to re-traumatize nobody. I know that I talk hard, but my intention is never to, I don't want to pussyfoot around nothing now. And the reason why I'm saying it like that is because society ain't pussyfooting around with what it's showing us. It's showing us that I don't care what you had to wanna. If your daughter want to be a nigga, she can change her birth certificate and you got to call her John. See, I ain't finna go for that. Y'all might say I'm wrong and might say I'm homophobic, but I can't go against my creator when I know what I birthed. I know what I had out my pocketbook. So I refuse to let any population, sector, beliefs, mass following, bullshit, people that want to be nice and kind, make me to think that I'm crazy based on a fact that I fucking know. I'm not finna do that. I cannot. There is no way in the world that people can tell me that all these men are born gay right now. I refuse to fucking believe that. There has been an influx of black gay men just popping up. Where did that trend come from? Where did it come from? Everybody just woke up in the past 5, 10, 15 years and come out the goddamn closet.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I just don't. I don't see that.
And two, I want people to also think about this too, and especially for my people who are in the homosexual lifestyle, think about this too. By you allowing the state DFACS to have control over your house, you may disagree how such and such run their house, but now that kid is in DFACS, right? he's in the foster care system. Now he got to search for, now they're going to try to find him a whole nother different family, right? And that's traumatizing in itself. You taking the kid from his family just because the family disagree about his sexual orientation, which he's a kid. I mean, a 14-year-old doesn't have a full. A 14-year-old doesn't have a full scope of sexuality versus someone who's 20. You know what I'm saying? It's different maturity levels. So I mean, people may say, "Oh, that parent being homophobic." At the same time, when you're giving these other institutions power for them to dictate where your child goes, they could really set that child up in a system of slavery. And what I mean by that is, so much children in the foster care system, it is hard for them. And it is easy for them to go towards the gang life, easy for them to go towards, more of a criminal lifestyle, because they don't have stability inside of a home and family. And that's important. So was all that worth because the parents said, "Hey, you're being a little too feminine"? Was all that worth that? No. You know what I'm saying? I don't. So I just want people to think about it from that aspect.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to get, I got an older person that I met, not an older person, but an older person in recovery, who is a gay man, really good friend of mine. I'll say that, really good friend of mine. And when I say friend, I don't mean I go hang out with him. I have a respect for his lifestyle because he lives who he is, and he is a gay man, and I can appreciate him for who he is and where he is in his life. I really want to have a candid conversation, not necessarily with him, because I feel like we know each other, and it wouldn't be as, we would kind of be easy on each other. But gotcha. I want to have a candid conversation with several, gay people. I mean, I really want to know, and I'm coming from a place of really trying to have an understanding. Not that I really want an understanding. But I do, in a sense. I don't, but I do. I don't know how that makes sense. I'm just really concerned to see men that I know personally. I've seen men that I know and grew up with that get on here and put on a wig and laugh and giggle and make videos. And for me, I'm just trying to find out what made that adult man feel like this was something that was okay. I do know he just put many cases of rape, starvation, torture, and all that. I agree. There are so many underlying issues. I just had a real personal family issue that happened that involves just what this brother had just put in the comments. Don't really want to go into details about it, but I don't know whether it's sexual trauma that's already, I don't even believe that. Like now they be saying these boys been raped. That's what it is. I do agree with that because there's a lot of that going on. But again, I just refuse to believe the influx of black men who coming out as effeminate now. All of them was. I just don't believe that. I just really believe that it's easier for them to be able to put on the wig and they can fit in more. You won't get as punished as much when you got on a wig. See, you're not as much of a threat when you got on the wig. See, you now, black man, dark skin, you a threat. Oh, he a thug. You a threat. But see, when you put on the wig, you're not as much as a threat. You get caught more. And again, it's never coming off as disrespect, but I'm never going to hold my true feelings in as it relates to this. I don't want to go on and on about this because this can go on and on. And I really don't have no specific talking points. It's just that I don't like it. And I don't like coming from a place of saying I don't like it if I don't have specifics. You understand what I'm saying? To make it, to relate to that. Anything else? I'm thinking about the pollution thing now. As it relates to this gay thing. A
point I want to add too is, I want, for the brothers who are in a homosexual lifestyle, do your research. Find out about buck breaking.
Oh yeah, I did a video on that. Listen, You're new to this. Everybody who on my page know me. I did a video on that probably 6-7 years ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, 6-7 years ago. So you was already
all this stuff that you, a lot of stuff that you bring up now. My folks know this old shit.
Yeah.
They already
okay.
They know this old shit. Yeah, this buck break already, you know. And another thing, that's why I don't call people young buck. I don't call young dudes young buck. You don't call them that. You gotta realize what our word said. I got one person. He always, one thing about him, he gonna go back and look at this video. I guarantee you. And if there's anything that I said, a word that I've said that derives from a place like how we with nice last week. If there's any word that I say and there's another, it's derived from another thing that's in a negative connotation that's not empowering for us, I guarantee that brother gonna watch this video and inbox me and call me out or comment on here on everything that's improper. And I appreciate that, because I don't never want to come from a place of telling you something or saying something and because words are spells.
Yes, they are.
So I don't want to say a word and the word like the word nice. How now we think the word nice means good and pleasant, but how it derived, you know, the product, the source, it's kind of like how you gonna talk about you sniff cocaine, but you hate a crackhead. Shit, you can't love the product and hate the source. That shit all come from the cocoa plant. Which one do you want, man? You want the hard or you want the soft? I'm just being a buck. You know, you can't. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but for some twisted reason, we'll say that the one who snort better than the crackhead because it looks a certain way or it's perceived.
Yeah, exactly.
So is that the same thing with this day in society? If things are perceived a certain way, we'll let it slide.
Yes, it's the same thing going on in society. Yeah. If things are perceived a certain way.
Escort black boys like me to have a dress. Hold on. Let me put this up here. Escort black boys like me to have dress in high heels and wigs because I need savings for a manufacturer $200,000. I hope you won't put on a wig and a dress for that $200,000.
Yeah.
I think what he's saying is they try to persuade guys who need them, you know, who need money or financing to do things like that. I totally agree.
And you know, too, they've been doing that in Hollywood, you know, how much actors, like how much black actors had to play a more feminine role. And when you dig deep, you will find out that a lot of them did that. And you notice once they did that,
they blew up.
They blew up. You know what I'm saying? So
Will Smith's first role was getting fucked in the ass. Everybody forgets that. Will Smith's first role was with a white man getting fucked in the ass. I'm gonna look up the name of the movie. That's his first role. Yes, it was.
What movie was that?
I'm gonna look it up. Hold on.
Wow.
It's on my tongue.
Wow.
It's on my tongue. Hold on.
Wow.
Yeah, see, I'm an old head, so a lot of this shit that people saying now, this shit been going on. This shit ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
Okay, role in movie. It was in movie, and it was with a white dude. Hold on. Y'all know I'm slow with this.
Well, while you looking it up, I was just gonna say, you know, I noticed
6 degrees of separation. That's what it is.
6 degrees of separation.
6 degrees of separation. Yep, that's the name of the movie. Go and look at that, and you'll see where he
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that.
Busting it wide. Well, it wasn't as graphic, but yeah, he played a very effeminate man with a white man. He's not the only one. I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Some of y'all favorites is like that. I can recall back in the day. I'm just gonna say this, and it might be unpopular. T.I.
Oh man. What role did he play?
I ain't saying T.I. put on a wig and a dress. Hear me clearly on that. I ain't saying that.
Okay.
But I know T.I. play them games. Them games. He like them games with them boys. I can show you documentation of my people know this. I wish my mentor was on here, but he probably working right now. I could show you from 3 years back when I was out there advocating with Keisha Lance Bottoms before she even became the fucking mayor. Before she even became the fucking mayor. To get the Atlanta City jail closed. T.I. and Scrap DeLeon went nowhere fucking around. Out of the blue, they just became the spokesperson when we had been out there in the hot sun all fucking summer, in the cold, in the winter, advocating to get this shit turned down. Now, I emailed this place after all this shit came out with T.I. just to ask them, are y'all still affiliated with them? Because y'all are an all women's group. First, there was an all women's group that catered to women, black women who've been incarcerated. That's how I joined in. I've been incarcerated, I'm a black woman, I'm an advocate. So that's how I joined the group. After joining the group about a month and a half, they changed the whole group name from black women to trans women. And then they made T.I. and Scrap DeLeon the head fucking people. I just emailed them not even a month ago to ask them, hey, I did it anonymously from another email. Hey, is T.I. still representing you guys? You know, the motherfuckers didn't even respond to me. So I can tell you a lot about some of y'all faves. And again, it's not out of nobody because the people who on my personal like Facebook page, they know I've been talking about this. I could tell you a lot about a lot of y'all faves. The people that people admire, the ones who think that they talk good on these big scales, oh, they dick in the booty. They fudge packing. And I'm going to say it candidly. They dick in the booty. Shit. They getting it raw with no Vaseline. And I ain't ashamed to say that. Because I've been on my Facebook, and I got a page that I really go in on this. It's a lot of people that I've talked about years back. I talked about this years back, and some of them came to fruition. So my people know that I ain't lying about these people. I don't want to say no man is gay. So I ain't finna just say he acting gay just to make him feel bad. Because to me, that's not no slight. Because just because you gay doesn't mean that you less than. You're not less than a human being. I just don't like what you're doing. But that don't mean your value is any less. Hear me when I say that. I'm not devaluing the person. I just personally don't like the lifestyle, if that makes sense. A lot of your faves doing this. A lot of your faves. A lot of your faves is up with that same stuff that T.I. got going on right now. A lot of your faves. A lot of your faves. They're doing the behind the scene to be politically correct. Okay. He said Iggy Azalea.
Yeah, so you use the game term. Isn't that blood grabbing there? Right.
He said, wish you was my mother. I wish my son would say that. No, he said, I'm hard. So you're saying you wish I was your mother? I appreciate that. But I'm a good mother. I'm gonna say that. I've been flawed. You know, so I didn't always make the right mistakes as a parent. So I won't act like I'm just this so perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes. But what I will say is I love hard. And I'm 100. I'm either, it ain't like it's got to be my way or the highway, but there are some things under my household where I fucking pay the bills. I'm the thunder and the lightning in this motherfucker. I'm the tornado and the storm. And that's just here. I ain't that everywhere else now. I'm not that everywhere else. I'm the thunder and the lightning in this motherfucker. And if you don't want to get struck by lightning in here, then you've got to you got to act accordingly. That don't mean I rule with the iron fist. I have in the past. I'm more cognitive now on how my behaviors impact others. But again, I'm not finna be disturbed in this place of peace where I done paid to be, if that makes any sense. Ain't no child of mine finna come here and disrupt it. They ass can go. I've done it before. Get your ass out. I love you. You got to go. Ain't no parent finna disrupt it. I love you, but if that's how you're gonna live your life and you like that type of drama in your life, you stay there. I love you, friend, but you're not finna bring whatever you got going on over here and disrupt this right here. I've worked too hard for that. So whether you're gay and living your life, that's your business. Whether you're selling dope, that's your business. You're not. So it ain't like I'm discriminating on just the gay. Ain't nobody finna come and disrupt this right here. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and I want you to be honest with me. Whether it's you want me to feel bad and let the person my cousin who's selling dope come stay with me and build him up just because he's a real nigga and act like that's okay, but then talk down on the gay dude who wear a wig, I ain't finna do that. Both of them niggas is wrong to me. Now the one that wearing the wig, it really shouldn't impact me that much because it ain't in my household, but indirectly it impacts me because every time I go in the fucking store and I'm wondering why I ain't got no grandkids, and my son don't want to date the Brown because he don't know what this man or got no woman, and my daughter don't want to deal with these down low niggas. So hey,
yeah, I can see that, and going back to that boy, I won't call him boy, but going back to the young man that's getting paid on the IG videos and doing the videos now because he's coming out and all that, and he disagrees with his parents say, I was raised by a strict father, and I had that type of thinking like he had back then, but as a grown adult, I realized not everything my father did was best, but it kept me out of jail, Yep. And I thank my father for that, and it's just about, when that young man becomes older, he may have this same perspective that I have, like, okay, I know my parents disagreed about this, but maybe I should have opened more of an ear to them. You know what I'm saying? Because a parent, they don't have to, accept everything that's going on with this LGBT or just certain stuff that they disagree with. They pay the household, they pay the bills. You ain't chipping in the bills. You have no right to dictate how they run their house. Point blank.
And you know what? I was one of those parents that thought like that, but the adult in me now, even though they're my children and I paid the bills, I feel like they still have a say so. I even though I cannot like what they're what they've done or whatever, but they're still human beings also. And today I say that, but when I was parenting back then, I didn't see it, but now I see how that impacted my children by me ruling with an iron fist and telling them it had to be my kind of way or the highway, when in actuality, life is about compromise. In order for us to live amongst each other as a parent, even though I felt like everything was mine, I was paying the bills, my children aren't property. They're not property, they're little people. So I can't just expect them just because I'm paying the bill. Guess what? If I didn't want to pay the bills or whatever, I should have closed my fucking legs and not let no nigga skeet in me. I'm just keeping the bit. See, I take everything back to what role did I play in it? Wow. What role did I can't take all that out on my children. I can't get impatient with them and all that. Why did I lay down and let two different niggas skeet inside me and have them seized?
Yeah. Wow.
My accountability. Wow. I can't look at what daddy did. I can't look at what nobody else did. I got to look at what Tawana did. What Tawana, ain't no need you getting impatient because you did this to yourself. I just put that up on the saying he said Canvas Samuels. He's just calling. Yeah. We're gonna end because we can go on and on and on. I know you might got something to do. I want to look at the rest of the game. I want to get me some wine. I really appreciate the part about the natural the nature and pollution. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go look up some more info about that. And when we come back next week, I'll bring some more info regarding that back up, so that way we can kind of have more insight regarding that, because I really do like that mindset and that talking point. I just like to have more tangible, that's my word. Yeah, I'm one of those with tangible, how I can make that relate. And what you said, farming was really good now. So it's not, forgetting that was absolutely phenomenal. It's just, I want to have more tangible resources to go along with that talking point, because I think that was a really good talking point. And a lot of people really don't look at it from that perspective. So I really appreciate that. I know we kind of went bounced around with everywhere. I thank you so much, Mateos, for all the feedback. Again, this is not, you know, my commentary, my thoughts are mine alone. It's no reflection of Dwayne. I don't want anybody to ever feel like my thoughts and what I say are being imposed on him. What I stand 10 toes down in it. I will say it again for anybody who's misconstrued. I don't have anything against the LBGT community. I just have a thing with seeing so many effeminate black males putting on wigs, dresses, makeup, boobs, titties, and twerking. I have a problem with that. So if anybody feels like that's homophobic, I'm always open for dialogue. There's a link. We done had the link up here most of the time. The link is in the chat. It's so many damn comments. I can't even see the link now. Okay. That's the link. So anytime somebody want to come, you know, y'all know how to get me, my phone number. I don't even hide my fucking phone number. I'm one of those. You can call me on my regular phone right now and I will pick it up. So if ever there's an open conversation that you like to have, please chime in. I don't run from it. It's just one of those things. I feel like I need to grow in the area, in certain areas. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm coming across to be ugly, but I want to have a greater understanding. I want to see where some of this is coming from. And I'm always open to anybody being able to assist me in that. He said, I hate the swirling.
I saw that too.
Thank you so much. Mateos, you're kind of funny. I like you too. I really like you. I wish you would have hit the link to join, but you're kind of funny too. I like that. I like all different perspectives. We don't always agree. We may not always agree, but one thing I can appreciate is for people who have a different perspective being able to speak about it. I'm not one of those who like people who always fucking post about something, but they can't get up here and show their face or put something behind it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anybody can be a finger bandit. I don't like finger bandits. You know, put your money where your mouth is. Any last closing words? Because I'm finna go get me some wine now and get drunk. And I'm finna get on this man because he ain't did my notes yet.
Okay. Okay, that's what you was talking. I got you. Yeah.
Not to cut you off. He went out. Okay, so he's gone. He just ended. I don't know what happened. I think his phone died out or whatever. I don't think I ended him. But he's gone. So I appreciate everybody for joining in. Thank you again, Mateos, for tuning in. And we'll be back on next Sunday. And next time, Mateos, you hit the link and you join in. We appreciate you joining us from all the way on the other side of the world. And we'll be back on next Sunday. Again, we're out. Thanks for tuning in. This is TJ the Advocate. Remember, all of the views are my personal views. They have nothing to do with Recovery Wars nor Dwayne the Lightworker. These are all my personal views. And should you ever have any questions, make sure you turn in. I'm out.